Brisk effect is being played by Bambi for like the third time today. Um, and that's what's going to be the offlane hero. I can't believe I asked that before because they've done this like twice now. So
Yeah, I mean, Bambi's the offlane here. It's worked for a month. I think the second time it wasn't as effective, but it still turned out beneficial. But Snatch still, they're not a team to let this go unpunished. They've been playing really well today, and they know what's what and what's up. And I think having a TA solo this game could be very,
Prepare for
very detrimental
battle.
against Brisk Effect. And speaking of them, let's start introducing the teams. Legendary will be on that Invoker running mid. Jake Uchiha will be on Bloodseeker. Nakamikon and Does will be on that Vengeful and Earthshaker respectively. Finally, Bambi will be rotating top on that Tempo Assassin.
and for the side of Snatch still, we do have Silencia on the Clockwork. We've got Optic sitting on the Rubik, who is also the captain for this game. Chiss is on the Venomancer. We've got Straits playing the mid, standing in for Owly, and Adro is going to be on the Marana.
And it does look like they're going to be running the same lineup as last
30
time.
seconds
Maybe,
to
as you said,
battle.
we'll be going to the offline Necon, oh my god. Necronomicon. I can't believe how badly I botched that. Throwing down a ward, giving a little bit of vision up on the opposing side's ramp. Snatch still, they won't be seeing where this ward is placed. They've already placed a ward down bottom, watching that bottom river. So both sides, they're both very inquisitive about when the ganks will come towards their mid heroes. Both with defensive
The
rune
battle
and
begins.
ramp rewards, and I like this from both sides. They want to make sure that their mid wins this. I mean, especially with Brisk Effect, they desperately need their Invoker to get the levels and get a little bit of gold because he plays quite splendid on that hero. And then over the same time, you need your Dragonite. He's going to be possibly your one position carry. He is in mid, he will be getting the XP. Mirana, sure, she can hit hard, but as you did mention a little bit earlier, she's a little bit unusual. If she gets slowed down a bit, she's going to get hurt because she doesn't have that naturally tanky or extreme damage items. Hence why she's usually played as a support. So the rotation into mid could be the decider for this game.
Yeah, I mean, this is like I feel like Snatch Steel's lineup is more focused towards the mid game compared to the late game. Um, Although at the same time, I gotta say,
Nice.
Brisk Effect is sort of aiming for that as well. Sure, Tempo Assassin can be really, really powerful in the late game, but if you can lock her down, particularly when you've got a Venomancer on the side, those dot ticks will just certainly destroy her refraction, which helps a lot. But I'm actually glad that Necronomicon has moved over into the top lane to create a duel, because I really don't think Bambi could have taken this lane by himself.
It's a nice rotation to get in those two heroes, and also give Vengeful just a little bit of XP herself. Down in bottom, though, it doesn't look they would have too much killing potential against the Clockwork. I mean, you do have a silence, you do have two stuns coming out, but Jaku Chiha, he's not going to be hitting for much damage, so it's nice to come up here and support Bambi, who has been the carry, who has pretty much pulled him through these games with the damage output and abilities he's been on displaying.
Yeah, that's for sure. In the mid lane, I gotta say, Straits is doing really well against this Invoker. 7 last hits for against 2, I should say. So this is actually going to hurt quite a bit because you do want to get as many lasts as you can in that mid lane. You want to potentially, if you're going for the bottle, get that bottle as soon as possible. And yeah, Straits is just using that brief fire very effectively.
And
Although
we might have a
Legendary will
kill
be
on
the one to pick
Necronomicon
up
up top. The
the
Gale hits
regeneration.
them, throws out that magic missile. Bambi's here to try and slow him down. Lift up, but this should be an easy death. Your first blood will be going towards that Rubik, and he'll be quite happy about that. And just, he was just sitting, he was waiting. Once that Gale had landed, that secured the death for that poor vengeful spirit.
Yeah, that VS is pretty fragile, particularly in the early phases of the game. Does have a stun, which is nice, but at the same time, you really don't want to be caught out of position, especially against a Rubik Murano who has an arrow and also a Venomancer.
We
And
say
one thing I
yes.
really want to note up top, Snatch still, they've been doing a really nice job pulling. I mean, they've had a healing camp stack, And they're one of the best stacks in the game, one of the most pain to also stack because the priest doesn't want to move. But they're one of the best because you can pull creeps in that they will keep them topped up with health, deny them all, and well, your opposing lane loses a lot of XP. You look at this, level 3 on Adro, level 3 on Rubik, and a soon-to-be level 2 Venomancer. That's just a lot of XP that has been denied from Brisk Effect, and with heroes such as Vengeful, who only gets better for a little XP, and especially with Tempo Assassin, being able to avoid and dish out more with those additional points in Refraction or that meld is very substantial that they're having their XP denied. And once again, it's being pulled through to the next hard camp, so very nice pulling by these supports.
Yeah, gotta certainly give a shout to them in this early phase of the game because they're doing it really well to shut down, or trying to shut down Bambi and Economicon. And this is just like as you were saying before, Bambi's the one that's sort of been really pulling Brisk Effect together. And if he's not getting anything in the early stages of the game, he's going to really have a hard time in that mid game where he really should be pulling his team through.
And you look at the net worth, it just shows all 3 lanes are winning. Clockwork is beating 2 heroes down bottom. Actually, speaking of down bottom, Silencia, he's going against JQ Chia. Who will win this man fight of the ages? Silencia will come out and will Andy be able to pick up anything? No, he won't. We have a bottle, we have a Tango, and herself. All on Silencia, who's got more than enough regen to get out of there. So he picks up a solo kill against 2 heroes, and there's just not too much those 2 heroes can do against the Clockwork. But still, Clockwork shouldn't have been able to pick up an easy kill like that. Top lane though, going against Bambi. Bambi, he puts into meld, not going to be enough. They will manage to find a kill with helps of the creeps, but at what cost? Necronomicon will fall shortly after, and Mirana will pick up a double kill.
You have learned nothing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just Silencia in bottom lane.
Down on bottom lane, they're not going to let up. He jumps in with a hook shot that he picked up from a little bit earlier, and he's continuing the shot. Uchiha, he's in a lot of trouble, but there is a nice little rotation by Necronomicon to make sure Silencia can't get any further, just to hold Uchiha and keep him safe.
I was just actually gonna say, Silencia had hook shot, so level 6 by 4.5 minutes. That's very quick for a Clockwork, and you can see already the damage and just the devastation he's doing in his mid lane. Oh, sorry, the bottom lane there. It's just really powerful. An early hook
in mid lane, we got a Sunstrike.
Absolutely.
Almost gonna land. Taking a lot of damage from the ice, a cold snap, and almost picks him off that Sunstrike. Sorry about that.
Nah, it's all good. But yeah, it's very powerful, and it just causes so much damage when you've got a Clockwork that's leveled, got that hook shot at that early stage of the game.
And talking about that Clockwork, he is the highest leveled hero in the game, sitting on level 7, and the mid heroes, they're only on level 6 themselves, so those 2 easy early kills he picked up by himself, it's just doing him wonders. And well, will Silencia be able to be stopped this game? Being a Clockwork, one of the hardest heroes to slow down once he starts getting on a roll, is going to be very scary.
Yeah, and actually it looks like they might want to jump on the straights here. Now Necronomicon just going to walk into the creep camp. There are 3 of them down here though, so if they want they can try and jump on Silencia.
And Snatch still, they've smoked up in their jungle. They're rotating through middle lane, and they're going to stop this Invoker getting any further in this game. He's only 10 for 2. That is harsh. He wants to be so much higher. And then we go. We have the Dragon Tail. Stun coming out. We got a lift. We got a Gale. The Gale will land, and that will be the death of the Legendary in this mid lane. Going straight to streets. He's going to be quite happy about that.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Silencia picks up another kill in the bottom lane, doing really well. But we can see now that Snatch still, they're just going to push down mid. There's nothing that Brisk Effect can really do to defend the Ivar, and that's a very easy and early tier 1 tower. Oh, nice arrow there from Adro in top lane. That secures him a kill.
And in mid lane at the same time, they're still continuing pushing. Their wards are out and running. They are level 1, so they're not going to be too strong. But being thrown back into a full creep wave and wards is certain death. Fablet comes flying through. Chiss, he's still in a lot of trouble. Will we see his Sunstrike come out and land on either Optic or Chiss? Not going to be the case. He's still on the run for his life. We do have a TP spot coming in. But the tower is down. This TP spot could be very detrimental. He's fighting underneath. He doesn't have refraction anymore. It is only a level 1. And he does pop that meld, but now he's just sitting there. Do they wish to camp him? No, they're going to let him live. The DC does come out by Chess, and we will be seeing a pause.
Yeah, so you know, Snatch still great play so far. Um, yeah, updates, but Silencio, I mean, I gotta say, he's been doing amazing in this bottom lane, and he's just gonna keep snowballing out of control. Snatch still, they've taken him the mid lane as well here. Streets doing well to go toe to toe with the Invoker. Was able to outlast hit him in the early phase of the game, and now that they secured that kill on tier 1 tower, this is a great place for Snatch still to be in. We spoke about how the Mirana isn't the best in a really late game situation as a carry. You generally try to get her sort of around the mid-ish game leading into the late game. You don't want to go too far out because once the BKBs come out and all that sort of stuff, it's a bit, her arrow isn't as effective, her starfall doesn't do as much. So yeah, it's it's certainly looking that they're going to use this lineup perfectly to their advantage and push when it's the right time. They don't really want to delay any of this. And using the Venomancer to rotate in with the Plague Wards, that's just easily brings out towers and also destroys Bambi as well.
And you have a little look at the net worth. The net worth is just scary. The Mirana herself has more net worth than the entire side of Brisk Effect, and that hurts. You look at the difference of gold earned. It's 7.5k at 7.5 minutes in. That is a very strong lead. That's 500 gold every half minute that they're gaining ahead of the opposing side. And, well, Brisk Effect, what can they do to come back into this? What items or what key timings do you think Brisk Effect should try and aim for or do to pull this game back in?
It's a bit hard to say because Bambi has had such a hard time only staying at level 4. Um, he's not in a position to really bring his team back into this into this game. The one thing that sort of I guess would work for them is if Snatch still overextend, if they sort of misposition themselves, and Brisk Effect are able to get, for example, nice fish off, which blocks off one hero from the rest of his team, finds some good pickoffs, stuff like that. A Bloodseeker may be hunting down some of these supports who sometimes fall low. He's currently he just hit level 6, so we might see him do a little bit more of that. Also in those team fights, a nice Earthshaker ulti once he has level 6 could of course turn the fight completely around. They have a Rubik on the opposing side though. Snatch still being played by Optic there, but if they can do some of these things, they can maybe start coming back. I feel like that Invoker should also be moving out of the mid lane more and start ganking. He's level 7, so he should be trying to find some kills with his Cold Snap and maybe even the Shine Strike if he gets the opportunity.
And have a little look at these early game items that some of these heroes are already starting to pick up. Mirana sitting pretty on her phase boots. Clockwork on his phase boots working towards what I presume would be a 4-staff, as that Ring of Regen should be worked towards that. Unless he wants to go for that early mechanism through side and allow Rubik and that Venomancer to move towards their personal preference items, such as Arcane Boots for the Rubik, or even Venomancer being able to pick up an urn or drums to help with his survivability and general support. But a lot of gold being thrown into the way of Snatch still, and if they can pick up these early items that hit when they get them before Brisk Effect can start getting a little bit of their farm on, before they get some room open up for them, then Brisk Effect, they're going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, I mean already we're just looking at Brisk Effect's items. They don't really have too much. The Invoker doesn't even have boots at the moment. Looks like he's going for the phase boots, but I mean, he's gone for the claws of attack first. The only issues with this, we've already seen him get picked off a few times. I'm not sure if boots have helped, but it certainly does ensure that he's a little bit more mobile in those fights, and if he ever tries to get ganked. So a bit of an interesting play, but I suspect as well with his bracer, he might be going towards not some huge items early on, maybe just picking up something like a drums just to help out a little bit more. Some of those small yet effective items, nothing huge, because when you're behind, you shouldn't be trying to aim for Butterfly or Battle Fury or something huge. You should be trying to aim for things that are going to help you immediately, because you're never going to be able to farm those big items if you keep dying or if you have no map position.
So we're still in a little bit of extended break. I have exhausted all my material of what to say. I don't know about you.
Well, I guess we could give a little bit of background on some of these teams. Just to give you guys an idea of Snatch Steel, they were in the previous season for Defense Australians, the spring season. They came third, they went to the LAN. It was like an epic 55-minute game, their third place decider up against Traffic Nexus, if I'm remembering correctly. So these guys do certainly have a lot of experience under their belt, whereas Brisk Effect, they've showed some interesting plays today. Bambi, we saw earlier today, absolutely dominating on the Templar Assassin, but they're fairly new to, at the very least, this tournament. I'm not sure how much experience they've had in terms of competitive play around the just in other tournaments, but certainly they've shown that they can create a lot of good players, and they have a lot of teamwork as well. We saw them really communicating well earlier today, and I believe have they won 2 games, or have they only won the one today?
I think this is the third. They won one, lost one, and I believe this is their third.
Okay, yeah. They played Hertzville Hoodrats earlier and Nara.
Yeah.
At least those are the games I remember.
Yeah, that's what I've got written down anyway. So they have versed Nara. They did beat Nara in a convincing fashion, and then they went up against Hillsville Rats, and it started out fairly nice. Actually, did they beat Hillsville?
No, they lost. They actually started really well. It was the tiny IO combo, which sort of in top lane, and who was up against it? I don't remember.
That
but
was it was pretty sure it was Bambi up against them, and he picked up an early 2 kills on him.
But was he playing with his Templar? I don't
Yeah.
think he was. He was playing something else.
No,
Was
yeah, I think it was Templar. He picked up an early kill with an auto attack, and then picked up a second a little bit later. Or was he the Imbecile?
I don't remember now. But yeah, we did see that, and they picked up, it was a double kill basically against an IO and a Tiny, which was actually quite powerful. Did really well there. So yeah, these guys do have quite a bit of skill under their belt, but it's just against someone like Snatch Steel, it's certainly going to be tough. I think they're going to just try and see exactly how Snatch Steel play, and they're going to have to try to adapt to it as much as possible, because I think a side like Brisk Effect, especially with the sort of lineup they're going, they're a team that want to grab the early advantage, and if they can't have it, then they're going to fall behind very quickly and won't be able to catch up.
Okay, I just checked. He was the Clinks actually, so I was nowhere near.
Oh, that's right.
It was the his Syrian arrows that were picking off the IO, and he got the Tiny as well, and then he just started getting kind of destroyed thereafter.
Yeah, okay. Clinks does ring a bell now.
And seems like we got a little bit of an unpause coming out
Oh.
by Bambi. Okay.
Maybe, yeah, it seems like he accidentally hit it. Now, if teams, just to give you an idea of how the structure for the tournament works, the top 4 teams from each group, there are 4 groups, 8 teams in each group, the top 4 teams from each group go to the upper bracket, which they play for a spot in the finals and a chance of the grand prize, and the bottom 4 teams go to the lower bracket, which doesn't face off against the upper bracket at any point. It's a little bit different to your standard upper and lower bracket sort of setup. What happens is any team in the lower bracket will only face teams in the lower bracket. It's single elimination, and they basically fight for a smaller prize pool as first, second, and third place. All the games for the lower bracket will be best of 1 except for the finals, which is a best of 3. All the games for the upper bracket are a best of 3 except for the grand final, which is a best of 5. I'm pretty sure that's correct.
Well, it is now correct. You are the man in control. Not that Michos guy that we all know and hate. I mean, love.
Yeah, totally.
In before sacked.
Yeah.
Last game you see of me, gone forever.
Hashtag looking for work.
Sign up and straight. Just wanted Dota casting, please help.
And he's back.
Only in Queensland cared about Dota. Like, there is no Queensland in Dota. I mean, no Dota in Queensland. Oh.
Of course there's no Queensland in Dota. I'll be silly. Yeah, it's... We'd like to bring some more teams. Like, if there was a way that we can bring teams to, like, Melbourne to compete, that would be awesome. Maybe Sunday in the future.
Just bad geographical locations. Thanks a lot, Australia. You suck. But we're back underway and teams are getting back into it, and well, Silencia, he's on the prowl once again. He's going down. He's going to be looking towards Andy. He's not going to quite go on and in. He does get silenced, and that will just hold him back a little bit further. But Yoshi, he's got no mana after this. And if Self's paying attention, he might want to jump on in and try and do a little bit of harassment. Maybe try and find himself an easy kill.
Against these two here, against Andozinos and Jake Uchifa, you know, if you hookshot an Earthshaker, Cogs, and then use your Battery Assault, he can't actually cast anything because he is like the time for him to get a spell off is so long.
In mid lane, Dragonite, he's got an Invisor and he's looking. He's got his Dragon Form up and running. He should be going for popping off his Dragon Tail very shortly. It's a little bit strange he hasn't. He is waiting for the rotation from the Venomets just to make sure that they do pick up this kill. And there is no points in Wex, which means there is no Cold Snap available. There goes one. There goes the Dragon Tail. There's the Burst, and Legendary, he's going to fall. He's going to try and do whatever damage he can, but it's nowhere near enough.
With me.
Yeah, no. Did you mean the Ghost Walk there when you said there's no because you said Cold Snap?
Oh,
I was like,
whoops.
really?
In my mind I said Ghost Snap. I mean Cold Snap. Oh no, Ghost Walk. Down and bottom lane, he's killing Uchiha. Uchiha, he will fall underneath that tower, so Sharagon won't be saving him anytime soon.
Nah. Actually, one thing I'd like to know, the entire side of Brisk Effect, they've all got Naruto avatars.
Oh wow, I just noticed they all had him. Huh. And actually top lane, there's initiation going at Adro. He will avoid the Sunstrike like a pro. He knew where it was pinpointed.
Yeah.
He's going to get out of that too much issues.
He walked right around it.
And now, a little bit of pushing coming down on bottom. Uchiha is going to be a little bit defensive here. If he goes too far forward, there is not a hookshot currently available, but there is a lot of damage coming from the follow-up. You've got a lift, you have a Gale. Fisher will come out, try and slow down this creep wave and try and clean up a little bit. TP support coming underneath the tower. Snatch still, they should just decide to back away. They doesn't look like they will fight. Actually, where did that kill come? That kill was up top. Adro finding a kill by himself. Down bottom of the lane, Chia gets caught out by his own fissure from Ando, and well, that will spell death. A little bit of mana going towards them. They're just going to continue aggression, continue forcing down this tier 1 tower, and there's just nothing Brisk can do about it.
Yeah, I gotta say, the play there by Adro in the top lane with the arrow, he saw that they were teleporting bottom, was able to, oh look, there's gonna be more fights.
And his kills.
Gets another kill.
Yeah, I was watching top lane where Adro's like, I'm just going to clean up this Vengeful Spirit quite easily.
Kill.
That's 1 for 16 in favour of Snatch. So they will now pick up their second tier 1 tower of the game, and they will be and they might rotate top to go work on the next tier 1 tower up top as well, or they might just continue the aggression. I mean, Arcane boots up very shortly on both the Rubik and the Venomancer. Fissure once again being thrown out to a little bit, but this Earthshaker, I do not agree with his Fissure, his skill build, I should say. 2 points in Fissure, 3 points in Enchant total.
Especially with no Aftershock, because generally you get the Enchant Totem after you've got the Aftershock, so just for the extra stun. Yeah, the damage is it's pretty meh, but the extra stun certainly helps you out there.
Radiant's
And
bottom
now they
tower
continue
is
working
under
this tier 2. You
attack.
have TP spot coming from Bambi. They know something's coming. Fish has been thrown back by Optic. He's almost trying to lock them down. But they will find an easy kill on Vengeful. She had nowhere to go. Once again, set up well by the Fisher coming up on the room. And Adro finding another kill up top.
Radiant's bottom
And
tower
still
is
initiation down
under
bottom.
attack.
Hookshot comes fine on in. Sunstrike not going to be anywhere near enough to kill Silencia. And there will be a Fisher to try and slow him down. But that's still a tier 2 tower going down, and tier 2 in 12 minutes, that's not looking good for Brisk.
No, not at all, and I gotta say, Silencia has played amazingly this game. To be able to hit level 6 before 4.5 minutes, that's extremely fast. And once you have that on the clockwork, I mean, we've just seen how much, how effective it is. You just cause havoc. There's nothing, well, there's very little the opponents can do to you unless they, like, 4v1 you or something. And really, the lineup from Brisk Effect is, it's going to be tough to really pick off anyone here. I mean, they can try and catch one of the heroes that's sort of out of position and off guard, just with the stuns and whatnot. But even this Bloodseeker, he popped ulti before an Adra, and Adra just stood there and was like, I'm just going to kill you instead. Doesn't matter. Just some great players all around from Snatch still.
And speaking of Adro, he's got his meld to start coming through. Actually, we have a little bit of initiation. Bambi is hiding in his meld, waiting for a hero. He will pop out of it. I'm a little bit surprised that he decided to come out of it. This might spell death. He jumps back in the meld. He instantly uses it. Moonlight Shadow will be enough to save these two heroes. It will not. X marks the spot, and two heroes fall on the spot. And now Uchiha is in a lot of trouble. Celestia comes on in, and Jake, you are gone. You're out of here. He's just going to TP home, but it doesn't look like any of these heroes would be able to get there anyway. But Invoker could invoke a Sunstrike, but it wouldn't do any damage, do much damage anyway. He's only got 3 points in Exalt.
And once again, those little error spirits, that's what I'm going to call them now, error spirits, running around. I wonder if they're going to cause, yeah, they're still causing the stupid lasting fire effect on whatever they attack.
Is this the, what set is this? It's the Corruptus Grievous
It's
thing.
the, is the Ice set from Invoker, which is causing it.
Oh, I thought so. I thought it was the Ice set, but I looked into it, I was like, And now Bam, he's going against Optic. He's doing a lot of damage, but now he's been hit by the Gal. He's on the retreat, and now stuns come out, lift comes up. He will fall down to the might of the Radiant, of the Dire, not the Radiant. And we have a hookshot coming in, but Scumbag Creeps walk in the way, and so that's just not going to be too happy about that. But he now has a 4-staff, so if he gets in too much trouble, he'll just 4-staff himself out of trouble and out of his own cogs.
Yeah, he's picked up a Hyperstone, which suggests that he's probably going to go towards something like an Assault Cuirass, so it's just going to be very, very tanky. There's not a lot of magic damage coming out on the side of Brisk Effect, so something like the AC there is just going to ensure he never dies, basically.
And now, Brisk Effect, they're rotating up top. They're going to look for Adro, but Adro's already got the awareness to get on out of there before too much happens. I mean, there's 4 heroes missing off the map. One's revealed himself bottom. They've got to be somewhere, and that's in between lanes and where your heroes are. So he wisely gets on out of there. He'll continue farming. Mechanism picked up on both the Rubik and the Venomancer, apparently.
Incoming!
Yep, and so we have the illusion.
Shipwreck!
And they will find 1 kill. They're going to continue working against Uchiha. Adro, he's going to come ninja this kill, because why not? He's now 7 for 0. He's on a wicked 6 streak. He's quite happy about that, but why don't I see 2 mechanisms popped up? That confuses me.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Because yeah, it said Shiz also bought one, but they're not unwise enough to pick up 2 mechanisms on the same team. But they will be picking up the second tier 2 tower of the game. They'll be continuing working through this. Gonna rotate mid, try and get anything. They're gonna push one hero down bottom. That's Adro. Adro could easily clean up Bambi if he needed to. You have those illusions come out from the Mantis style, take down the refraction charges, finish them off with that Starfall and the arrow, and you've got yourself a free kill. But Bambi, he still wants to stick around here. I do not think this is a wise choice.
Unless Adro lands a really nice Sacred Arrow, I don't think Bambi's in too much trouble to survive 1v1, but I mean, Adro's been pretty good with his arrows so far this game, so if I were him, if I were Bambi, I'd be like, I'm just gonna back off now, not even carrying a TP.
Who needs a TP? And a hookshot comes right on in. Uchiha being caught out underneath a ward placed up on the entire ground. And now Bambi's like, I'm going to try and find something here. He pops out of his meld, so he's not going to be able to meld for another 5 seconds. So if there was any support for Snatch still, Celestia's just still trying to ring around the rosy at the moment. He's going to decide to turn. And there's the meld. This should spell death for Bambi. Bambi gets hit by the arrow, and he will fall shortly after. And D2T tower in mid has fallen.
Yep, and it looks like they just pinged Roshan, so it looks like they do want to go for that. And yeah, once they have the Roshan, they've got all the tier 2 towers. They can push towards the tier 3 and get some nice kill. Oh, sorry, get their first strikes for the game. And there's gonna be there's nothing that Brisk Effect can really do to stop that. You know, when you're there's a Necromonicon up on Venomancer, and you've got that. And you're this far ahead as well. You've got Dragonite. It's too hard to really stop at this point in the game. There's no real anti-push coming out here from Brisk Effect.
And well, I think after this Roshan goes down, I think it's kind of safe to assume Snatch still will not be dying anytime soon, especially on Dragonite, who is the one disappointing person on Snatch still who has fallen down. It was the Venomancer, so it's gonna make Shiz feeding away a kill. They will be now moving down mid lane. They're going to be finding something. They have seen a ward being placed out by Vengeful Spirits, so they know that they do have vision up here now. And arrow comes flying through, and it lands
wow.
out of right field. It hits him and takes him down without too much effort. And, well, he never saw that come.
No, that's what I'm talking about. Adro with these arrows has been really, really well placed, and it's allowed him to get quite a lot of kills, not just a little bit recently, but even in the very early stages of the game. These arrow spirits just cause a lot more fire all around the field.
And a Gale
Straight
lands.
does not care.
Gale lands into the Earthshaker. He will fall shortly. After BKB has been popped, he's going to run up. They turn around. Moonlight Shadow has been popped, but that doesn't matter. They're going to be underneath tower vision anyway, and they're finding more kills. Bloodseeker, he does fall to the Stolen Fissure once again by Object, who's playing very well in this Rubik at the moment, being able to pick up those crucial abilities and use them at this right time. Dragon Tail and the Dragon Breath comes flying out, and oh no, Adro, he missed an arrow. I think it's safe to say he's no longer
Holy shit!
Yeah, but I think he's beyond godlike. Will disagree with you there.
Anyone could get that. Hitting the arrow is another story. Yeah, he's kill stealing. That's what I'm going to stick with.
Holy
And Silencio, he's still making work against these heroes into their fountain. He's going to try and run away. He is selling stuff, and that additional auto attack damage is helping him rip through Vengeful Spirit. He's not going to be able to find it. He will turn around. He does have cogs if he needs to throw them down, but he's actually turning back around. He's going to go into the fight. Optic is here. He helps him out, and they find the kill. Optic and Silencio, team players right there. Unfortunately, he didn't mech Silencio before he ran away, but he will dodge the Sunstrike.
Oh my god.
That
What a dud.
that's sixth vision, or sixth sense I should say.
Yeah, that was quite good. That's a Necro free now for chess. I don't think anyone else has Necros, they don't. But it doesn't matter, I mean, not a nice arrow, or not an arrow from Adro, and that's was that a Sunstrike from Rubik?
Yes, I think it was.
Nice. Optic, better Invoker than Legendary. Nah, I'm just kidding.
And almost gets a Mantis around, but it's more than enough anyway. Arrow comes out, we'll find another kill. And giving out the rares like there's no tomorrow to all the viewers playing in game. And Meatball not going to be able to do anything. He will pick up 50 gold. I think that 50 gold is more than he's earned in the last 5 minutes of play. And Little Swift goes out to Optic. Optic, he still hasn't fallen. He's still fighting, and there's still only one death, even fighting inside that fountain. But Snatch still, they played really well this entire game. They made the lanes pay for not having a solid lineup. I mean, TA as an offlane hero is not effective. You need true heroes that have that disengage abilities, such as a Timbersaw who's tanky, who has that chain, Windrunner who has that run, but unfortunately, Snatch still, they made him pay hard, and then just continued on with their advantage.
Yeah, and Dragonite's tail nicely on fire there. But thank you guys very much for watching. This was a game between Brisk Effect and Snatch Steel. Snatch Steel continuing their domination in this group, really. They've done really well today. Thank you guys very much for watching once again. I've been Zellerf, and I've been joined by Dota Yoshi. You can follow me at twitch.tv/Zellerf, and you can follow Dota Yoshi at youtube.com/Dota Yoshi.